run. I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out.
Hello, Miami. Thank you so much for watching 305 Sports Now. I am your host, Will, and I'm bringing you an episode today because there is kind of like a civil war, I will say, at least it feels that way on Kane's social media, between those that want to see us just go along with Emory Williams and those that want us to go into the transfer portal situation. And I just want to say one thing. I can see both sides of the equation, both sides of the coin. I understand the fact that college football has changed and the skill set that Emory Williams has, or at least lacks the skill set that he does lack, is something that doesn't translate well into college football today if you want to win a national championship. But I got to say this, man, I am completely on Team Emory, all right? Unless you can get a quarterback like John Mateer, I really do think that the Canes this upcoming season for 2025 should roll with Emory Williams, and I'm gonna get into it why in the next couple seconds. And the possibility of maybe bringing a transfer portal quarterback as a potential to compete with Emory Williams versus that who just automatically takes the spot, like what happened with Cam Ward this past year. So let's start first things first. Why do I favor someone like Emory Williams? Well, first thing I want to say is that I think Emory Williams, as a true freshman, when he came in, when Tyler Van Dyke was injured, really did show a lot of poise in two very tough games. He was thrown into the Wolves against Clemson and also against Florida State on the road. And he showed poise in both those games and won the Clemson game and probably could have even won the Florida State game if he didn't break his arm going for it on fourth down and getting his team a first down. So shows a lot of guts as well. All right, but I want to break down the stats a little bit as far as Emory goes. It's not a lot pretty much to go by, but I just want you guys to see a little bit of Emory this year and last year. Okay, so as we look at the numbers, okay, so last year he completed 62% of his passes, had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not much to go by as far as average yards per pass. But I want you to understand that with Shannon Dawson, since he was a true freshman, they did limit the offense for him. Okay, the offense was completely. I'm sorry, I forgot to share my screen. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right, much better. So I just wanted to go over this again because I want you guys to quickly understand what I mean. Now, he had about 60% completion percentage, 470 yards passing. About his average is about 6.6, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And I just want to say that the offense was geared to be very pretty much basic for him since he really was a true freshman coming into the game against Clemson. Clemson, a very, very strong defense at the time, one of the more potent defenses in the ACC that season and this year as well. Shannon Dawson and Mark Risball pretty much watered down the playbook for him to make sure that he didn't make any mistakes. And he really had a really good game as far as it goes. And yes, it was complimentary football all around because the defense played very well that year. That year, Miami's defense was a true top 20 defense. Not what we see this year, especially when it comes to ACC play. Miami really only had, that I could think of, 2 real bad games, not including the bowl game. They had a rough game on defense against North Carolina when they went into a 2-minute offense pretty much the entire second half, and they had no film on a wide receiver that North Carolina had, and they were just out-schemed by Louisville at home, a game which they lost. I believe the score was 38-31. But aside from that, the Guidry-led defense was pretty solid in 2023, especially having 2 strong safeties like James Williams and also Cam Kitchens that both went on to go to the NFL. So I just want to let you know a little bit about that as well. So what I like about Emory Williams, if you look at the season as well this year against Ball State, I know it wasn't much. He came in pretty much in mop-up duty, but he should have gone 12 for 12. He delivered some nice passes, a beautiful 40-yard pass to Elijah Lofton, which got him a touchdown. He has nice touch as well. What I'm trying to say is if you surround Emory Williams with the right pieces, and this team does have the right pieces on offense, and if Shannon Dawson stays, or you get another offensive coordinator that mirrors a bit of what Dawson did with Emory Williams, Cam Ward, etc., I do think Emory can be very successful despite not being this dynamic runner that everyone seems to want out of their quarterback for the next few cycles as well. And I know that's very important But Emory is a very good decision maker when he's out there. And I want to show you why. Don't laugh, ladies and gents. I don't want you to laugh at this, but the best film I could really go with, and I want you guys to really take a look at, is his huddle video. If you look at his huddle video from high school, and I asked you guys, I'm sorry, wrong one. Here we go. Let me see. Is the video correctly up? Hold on. Let me put the right video up. Stop screen. Give me a second, guys. I usually like to do video overlays like B-roll, but in this case, I just wanted to kind of make it a little easier and just go straight from the stream. And here we go. Okay, so I want you guys to look at the video in general as I speak about Emory Williams. I know it's high school and it's a whole different ball game. Trying to add to stage. Here we go. I know it's high school and I know it's a different ball game, to say the least. But I want all of you to understand that what he is doing, as far as past reading defenses and so on, is very much ready for the collegiate level. Emory Williams has a very strong arm. He could throw about any size of the field. He can make tough throws as well. He could put it in between defenders. He could put it to only the receiver can catch it. We saw that at the Clemson game when he threw those two beautiful bombs to Colby Young, in which Colby Young won those jump ball situations. He did very well against a very strong Florida State defense that year, as he also did against Clemson when the opportunity came forward for him to do that. When he had to make a play with the football in general, he made a play with the football and was able to do that. It's going to be year 3 for Emory Williams coming in for the 2025 season. So he will already have been immersed in the offense as well. Aside from, yes, I'm going over the Ball State game, which was a joke of a game. Miami beat the crap out of Ball State. He went 11 for 12, should have been 12 for 12. It was a drop ball in that game. But I want you guys to also understand that in the spring game as well, Emory Williams did very well in spring practice during the spring game. So I do think that, again, with the right protection, which Miami's going to have, all they really need is a center. And I'm very confident that Coach Cristobal and Coach Mirabal will get a strong and very talented center in the transfer portal, paving the way for SJ Alefai-Tuli the following year. So we don't have to go transfer portal again for center. Or Max Buchanan. I know Max Buchanan also want to play center as well, but I think it's going to go to SJ, to be frank with you. You already have, Markel Bell. You'll have Maui Noah. You're going to have, of course, and think about Matthew McCoy as well. And Inez Cooper. You have a very good veteran offensive line protecting you. The running back room, you might get Damian Martinez back. If you don't get Damian Martinez, you're still going to have Mark Fletcher, Jordan Lau, and Gerard Pringle as well. You're also going to have the tight end room is going to be very stacked with Elijah Lofton. Also, Riley Williams as well. Very good tight ends. Quarterback's best friend could be a tight end, especially in situations where all the wide receivers are covered and you need that, and you need those good yards down the middle of the field. So that's a good thing also for Emory Williams. Again, the wide receiving core, I don't know who we're getting in the portal. We're going to probably get one portal wide receiver. Sam Brown may come back. I heard it's 50-50, but you're still going to get Zay Horton. And I know Sam Brown had a case of the drops. Hopefully he wouldn't have that next year, but you can't deny his speed. Zay Horton's coming back. Zay Horton was very, very, very effective in the offense this year. Then you got the young guns as well in Nikar, Chance Robinson, and JoJo Trader, whom we're all dying to see get on that football field as well. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have Emory Williams, surround him with the right weapons in general, you're looking at a successful season. I can't promise 10 wins again. Miami's schedule is a little tougher. Plus, we don't know how good the Canes are going to be because the roster isn't yet filled out, both with the recruiting coming in and also the transfer portal targets as well. And everybody else is going to be filling in with guys as well. We have to think about that as well. But I just want you guys to also look at the video. Emory Williams might not be the most mobile guy, but he can be rolled out if you need to roll him out, and he could make a throw on the run. He's also deceptively shifty in the pocket. He knows where basically his pocket presence is very solid. He knows how to slide within the pocket, be able to give himself a crease where he's able to look for his man and find the open receiver or go to the check down when needed. So I really do think that unless you get a total beast this year in the transfer portal that wants to come to Miami, I would ride with Emory. Okay, I'll ride with Emory. I'm planning on doing a video as well with, in retrospect, to Fernando Mendoza. He's a controversial guy as well. The fan base is also very divided on him as well. I will give my perspectives on him. I do think, though, if you do bring in Fernando Mendoza, it will be to fulfill the role that Reese Poffenbarger left behind because he transferred out. And what I mean by that is that he could compete with Emory for the starting position, but I do think Emory would win because Emory would know the offense better, and he would be a good backup if he wants to be a backup. He wouldn't be that expensive. Fernando Mendoza wouldn't be that expensive. And I think he could be a very capable backup for Emory. And if Emory gets hurt, you have a guy with experience that's able to fill that role. Why? Because next in line, if Emory was to get hurt, like what happened against Florida State a couple of years ago, you would have Judd Anderson, who has very little experience at all, or no experience at all, to be frank with you. And then you'd be relying probably on the true freshman, Luke Nickel, just to give you guys an idea of what I'm referring to. So again, if you are going to bring a transfer portal quarterback, it's either to compete, to push Emory a little bit, or to serve as an experienced backup to Emory Williams. Listen, I agree with Larry Bluestein, and I felt this way. There's only one quarterback on the football team, on any football team, that starts. So unless you do a 2-quarterback system, but most of the time, most football teams have one quarterback that starts. If you start every single year bringing in a transfer portal guy, it's going to be very difficult for elite blue chip quarterbacks to take your program seriously, that you're going to develop them or give them a chance to even play if you keep bringing in 1-year rentals. So Miami has to take the situation very delicately. Again, unless you have this absolute stud like John Mateer, who's a beast over at Washington State, come in and take the reins, I do think Miami would be best off riding with Emory Williams. And if you're going to bring a quarterback, you bring a quarterback in for depth purposes, so that way you have some experience if Emory does happen to get hurt. But Miami has a very good offensive line. The running back room is very, very, very stacked as well. A good tight end room, a good wide receiver room as well. The sky's the limit as far as the offense goes. Listen, I want to remind everybody, we got jacked up by a pocket passer at the end of the game, at the end of the season, okay? And Kyle McCord for Syracuse. Guy couldn't run at all, and he still torched the Canes. So what I'm trying to say is, surrounding Emory with the right pieces, as far as the offensive line, the wide receiver group goes, and the tight end group goes, Emory could put up big numbers as well. There's only one Cam Ward, guys. Only one Cam Ward, all right? And he's going top 5 in the draft this year. And I'm very thankful that he doesn't have to, that he's playing in the bowl game to ride out the season, give Miami their 11th win if possible. All right. But the bottom line is, though, Emory can still be very successful in this offense, not being the most mobile quarterback in the world, because he has every intangible you can imagine. He's highly intelligent. In that video of the huddle, he was, audibling as well. He can make any throw as well, and he sees the field very well. According to what I saw in that huddle video, the little that we saw in a very concentrated playbook, his first year as a true freshman, and what's been said about him by journalists and so on, and people in practice. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all right. If you like what you heard, also if you want to comment on this situation, whether you agree with me or not, leave a comment. All right, I understand everybody's perspective on Emory. My closest friends in the podcasting world, they a lot of them believe in basically the dual threat quarterback. I'm okay with Emory being a pocket passer, because I do think that he has the goods to deliver the football effectively, and Miami will have the right pieces on offense to allow him to do that. But if you like what you heard, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that share button, guys. Once again, guys, I am Will. This is 305 Sports Now. Have a safe day. God bless. See you soon. Go Canes, guys. All about to you. Bye-bye.